one of the key problems, and one of the first things that really amazed me when I began practicing law at the FCC, and it's improved tremendously since I started practicing, and I started practicing for the FCC relatively late in the early 90s, was how hard it was to get information about what the hell was going on at the FCC. It takes a lawyer to be able, and it's much, much better now, but it was next to impossible to find out just what was happening at the FCC. What it was that the local broadcasters were doing, or what the local telephone companies were doing. It's hard to get past just the language, the CLEX and the ILEX and the unis, and it was like, what are these guys talking about? Well, this presents a barrier to change. This presents a barrier to be able to work effectively to understand where your interests lie at the FCC or at the National Telecommunications and Information Administration or at these other things. And then, how do you actually press your claim about the fact that you can't download your music that you've purchased from a service that's no longer available on the internet, but you've got all this music stored on your computer? Why can't I download this onto my phone? And who's responsible? Where do I go for that? Who knows about, I mean, who really can answer? And it's the same sort of problem. The lack of openness about public regulations, the lack of transparency about rules and regulations that your officials, that you pay, make, that have a direct impact not only on your ability to download music, but about your ability to communicate effectively if the levees break, about your ability to communicate effectively if some idiot decides to fly a plane into a skyscraper in New York City. There are rules and regulations that are put in place that either limit or extend your ability to communicate effectively in public emergencies using wireless technologies or not. And most of us just sort of want to trust in the market, just as we want to trust in democracy. We want to trust that the systems that we have in place, that we believe in, that we've pledged allegiance to, that these systems actually work toward the public good. I mean, and that trust is an extraordinarily important thing in public life in America. What we call for in terms of openness is the same thing, frankly, that Ronald Reagan said. Yes, trust, but verify. Trust, but give us all the information that we need so that we can verify that we've got rules in place that actually serve our interests. And for me, that is a civil rights argument directed toward these sets of issues.